Hello and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode here today for our first race weekend in Formula 1. We're here in Australia for part 9 of the career mode, where a lot has happened over the winter months. We have signed for RB, the Red Bull Junior team. We're going to continue to be teammates with Isaac Hadjar. He is alongside us, and there's also a brand new team on the grid with APXGP joining the Formula 1 grid as the 11th team. This is the calendar for this season, a 10 race season. We start here in Australia before we go to Japan, then we go to Bahrain, Imola, Monaco, Canada, Silverstone, Spa and Monza, and we finish off the season in Brazil. So this is in practice then our very first couple of laps in anger in a Formula 1 car, and we got blocked by Kimi Antonelli on his debut weekend in Mercedes, and we were further around the lap and Antonelli crashed on the outlaps in practice very early on. This is a replay of what happened just behind us. Must have got in our dirty air and binned it in practice. So the practice is done, and now it is time for qualifying for the first time in our Formula 1 career. We've actually gone purple in the first sector, personal best in the middle sector. We come up to the line, and that first run in Q1 is going to put us P10, and that is where we stayed, and we found 1.2 seconds on our next run, which put us up into P2, and then that was it. We backed off, and then into Q2 we got through. Our teammate Hadjar is going to start last as we make a lot of mistakes there. We also went purple in the final, in the middle sector as well. We come up to the line, but we're going to start our first race in P16.
It's the start of a brand new campaign, and so many questions need answers. Can McLaren keep their strong form going? Will Ferrari thrive? Will we see Red Bull taking back their crown? It's Albert Park Circuit, 3.2 miles of bumpy city streets. We have changed the turns at 1, 3, 6 and 13. They have all been widened. We've got rid of the chicane at 9 and 10. That is now a flat-out right-hander. It's a new look that made its debut in 2022, new life into an old classic. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Piastri, Tsunoda, Charles Leclerc and Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Albon and Esteban Ocon, Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, Jack Doohan and Antonelli, Pierce, Brown, Ollie Behrman and Sonny Hayes, Alonso, Stroll, Gasly and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. It is going to be some race today. I'm Alex Jakes. Joining me is Naomi Schiff. Well, welcome back. After all the testing, the build-up, it all now comes down to this.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
So as the cars make their way now onto the grid ahead of the first race of the 2025 Formula 1 season, it's looking quite tight between the 1 and the 2 stop. We're going for the 2 stop strategy, but we'll see how the race plays out. Maybe there is an opportunity of a 1 stopper. But this is it then. We've waited a long time to get this opportunity, and finally we're racing in Formula 1, and we've got a fairly decent start in the slipstream now. We're going to look to go to the inside of Antonelli in the Mercedes. Lace on the brakes, we're side by side. We've made contact there with Esteban Ocon, and now we've had to really lift off and catch the slide after making contact with him. And now we head down towards turn 3. We've gained quite a few places already. We lost one though, but we've got it back down the inside of Bortoletto, who we never really battled in Formula 2, but was runner-up to us in P3. As now we head round further around the lap. Now right on the back of Ocon, who we made contact with at the first corner. We're getting closer and closer to him as we go to the inside and get the job done on Ocon. It's a great move there. Next up the road is Jack Doohan in the Alpine. We're a little bit too far back. That Jack Doohan at his home Grand Prix this weekend, of course, as well. As now we head into the final couple of corners. We're going to go for a late lunge down the inside at the penultimate corner. He has us covered off though. We can't get the exit, and Doohan keeps us behind there. But now we're in the tyre tracks. Can we have a look into turn 1? We're closing in on him extremely quickly there. We're going to look to the inside, but we're too far back, and now we're going to look to set him up before turn 3. As we come out of turn 2, down the pit straight, the back straight now, to the inside we go. We're alongside him. Have we got the job done? Doohan's trying to hold it around the outside. That turns to the inside, but we get the job done. We're past the Alpine, we're past the Australian, and now we can get down the road after the 2 Williams. This is Piastri leading his home Grand Prix, but that Mercedes engine in the back of that McLaren has gone bang, and Piastri has seen a chance at a potential home Grand Prix win literally go up in smoke as he pulls off to retire from his home Grand Prix. So lap 3 now, we've caught the back of the 2 Williams who are battling here, and this is Sainz trying to find a way past his teammate, and he's going to have a look to the inside. Albon holds it round the outside, he backs out of it, and we're going to try and follow Albon through there, but we couldn't. We had to back out of it, but we're going to continue to wait for an opportunity. Albon keeps his teammate behind in these early stages of the race. And now we skip on, same part of the track, 1 lap later. This is Sainz going for Albon again. This time he's going to the outside of his teammate, and he's going to get him round the outside, and we're going to try it once again to follow him through, but we've had to cut the corner. We're off the track, but we've still got a fairly decent run on Albon now, and we're going to send it late down the inside, get the job done on Albon. He tries to hold it around the outside, but we get the job done on Albon, and now we can get down the road after Carlos Sainz. So we thought we could, because Albon is coming back at us at turn 1, but he's backed out of it. Live to fight another day, and we pulled away from Albon, but we just couldn't get close enough to have a go at Carlos Sainz. But at the end of lap 9, 20 laps to go, we're pitting to make our first stop of the day onto the hard tyres, which will give us the option for potentially a 1 stop, depending on how these tyres feel later on in the races. That's a bit of an unsafe release there. The Sauber's gone straight through us there. Thank God for ghosting, as now we come out of the pits, and let's see what happens now. A very critical stage of the race right now, between if it is the 2 or the 1 stopper. That is the best strategy, and you can see just down the road is Hadjar, our teammate, as we continue to be teammates from F2. Hadjar makes a mistake there. We try and get up the inside of him, he slams the door shut, but we really need to swap the cars here. We're on 2 different strategies. We're in a pit stop in front of him, and we're all over the back of him now. We never really fought him in F2 apart from that weekend at Imola, but he's going to be a sitting duck now as we're on the fresh tyres to go round the outside, and it's job done on our teammate, and now he can continue to get down the road. Up the road next is Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. They can see the Apex car just up the road as well. We go to the inside of Lance Stroll, and it's job done for them. These look like they're trying the 1 stopper, So we'll have to be mindful of that later on, as Pierce here looks to be really struggling in his Apex car as we go sailing round the outside, but we can't quite get the job done yet. And now we're on the outside once again. That's going to switch to the inside, and we get the job done on the Apex car. And then we had great pace. Those that were two stopping around about, we caught. This was them making their first stop as we've gone purple in the first sector. Personal best in the middle sector. We're all over the back of Charles Leclerc here, and I did not expect to have this kind of race pace today. The hard tyre is working very well, as this is Leclerc going for a move on the Red Bull of Max Verstappen to the outside. Can Max hold it to the inside? No, he can't, and you've got to get up very early to go sailing around the outside of Max Verstappen. But Carlos Sainz has done it there. You would have seen the Williams were just in the pits. They are one stopping. This is Tsunoda now being done round the outside as well by Charles Leclerc. Great move there on both of the Red Bulls by Charles Leclerc. And now this is Max. He's caught the back of his teammate Yuki Tsunoda. Is he going to try and make a move through the quick chicane? He's a little bit too far back yet. And it's pretty much as 3 Red Bulls in a row. We're just in touch with these two, as this is Max getting past Tsunoda around the outside of his teammate. And now that has brought us into play a little bit. You can just see us in touch with the 2 Red Bulls. Hopefully a car that will be in one day. We've caught the back now of Yuki Tsunoda as these look to be trying, and it's a lock up there by Tsunoda, and he's waved us through, and we're up into the top 4 in this race. The tyres around about here still feel alright. I think we could get a one-stopper out of this race. Everyone around us is one-stopping, apart from George Russell, who is leading this Grand Prix as we come under pressure from Tsunoda, but Tsunoda backs out of it. We keep him behind. As now this is Oliver Behrman in the Haas on his debut. Of course, he did a lot of races last year in Formula 1 in 2024, but he's pulling over and he's out of the race with an issue there. And now Tsunoda was still all over the back of us, but he is going to pit at the end of lap 19 to make his second stop of the day. And now lap 20, we were just going to see if we could get to the end. You can see the tyres there. They're not in bad condition. They still felt alright. And the 2-stop clearly wasn't the way to go. But those faster cars around us are 2-stopping. As this is George, who's nearly been hitting the back of there, coming out of the pits by his former teammate Lewis Hamilton. And that puts us then on debut in Formula 1. Our debut race on the podium here today. It's a great bit of strategy as Max tries to get the lead off of Charles Leclerc. He's on the outside. Leclerc's not having any of it. But by lap 25, George caught the back of us. He thought about the move to the inside out of turn 1, but he couldn't get the job done there. But now coming down towards turn 3, the inside now is trying again is George. We're not going to make it easy for him. If we can get a podium in the sister Red Bull team on debut, that is a result for us, I think. And now this is Max trying again on Charles Leclerc, round the outside of Charles Leclerc. It's a good move by Max Verstappen with just a handful of laps to go to take the lead of the Grand Prix. And now this is George to the inside of us now. Has he finally got us? We're holding it round the outside again. He keeps backing out of it. He's got the tyres. He's got the grip. He's going to have us at some point, and especially there when we lose the rear at the final corner and wave George through, and he gets back onto the podium after giving up the win. It's potentially because of the 2-stop, but he caught the back of them with maybe screwed George over of a chance to win this race, but Max Verstappen rounds the final corner. The top three covered very closely there. Max is going to win the Grand Prix, Leclerc's going to be second, George third, and on debut we're going to finish P4. What a drive.
Another one for the incredible career of Max Verstappen, who takes the win.
Well, they kept us guessing during pre-season testing. We all wondered who it was going to be, and to have them drawn out here today, that they are the ones to beat, just goes to show that all the work they put in has really counted.
Well, another edition of the podcast is complete. We wander from the cool-down room to celebrate things on the podium. Max Verstappen has been here before, another win in Formula One.
So that's been our very first race in Formula 1. Max Verstappen, your race winner here in Australia. What a battle between him and Charles Leclerc. The top three covered then by just 0.6 of a second. George, we probably hurt his chances there. P4 for us though on debut. I very quickly realised that the two-stopper wasn't the way to go. The one-stopper very much was medium to hard, because you can see Albon there and Sainz both one-stopping, but they both started on the hards. So medium hard was the strategy. It's given us a P4 on debut, especially when Hadjar finished all the way down in P18. Two retirements today then. That was Piastri from the lead early on and Behrman late on, and then Bortoletto finished last in P20. But the Constructors' Championship then, Red Bull lead by 3 points over Ferrari. Mercedes are third, we are fourth, and then it's McLaren rounding out the top five. Then it's Williams, Haas, Sauber, Aston Martin, Alpine, and it is APXGP who are bottom of the table. So that's been the very first race of our Formula 1 career. We go to Japan next for the legendary Suzuka circuit for our second outing in Formula 1. I'll see you at Suzuka. Goodbye.